We'll be concluding our ASMR version of Hamlet, picking up with Act 5, moving into Scene 1. As usual, I will not be giving the comings and goings, just the scene breaks, so that anyone who wishes to can keep along. So let us begin then. Act 5, Scene 1, a cemetery. Should she be buried in the ground? Christian, the one who voluntarily went to seek his salvation. I tell you yes. Digs his grave right away. The coroner held a session on her and Christian burial. How can this be unless that she was drowned in a case of self-defense? Well, this is what has been recognized. No, it must be a personal case insult. It cannot be otherwise, for here it is. Where lies the question? If I drown voluntarily, it will constitute an act. And now an act is divided into 3 parts, which are acting, doing, and accomplishing. Ergo, she drowned voluntarily. Good, but listen to me, good man gravedigger. Permit me. Here the water passes. Well, there the man stands. Well, if man goes into the water and gets drowned, whether he likes it or not, it is because he goes, let him drown. Note this, but if the water comes to he and drowns him, he does not drown himself. Ergo, he who is not guilty of his own death has not shortened his own life. But is that the law? Yes, by God, it is the law affecting the coroner's inquest. Do you want to know the truth about it? If she had not been a noble young lady, she would have been buried outside the Holy Land. For that, it is well spoken, and more, it is a pity that the great personages in this world are on the verge of drowning and hanging themselves more than their brethren in Jesus Christ. Come, my spade, there is no more ancient gentlemen than gardeners, the diggers and gravediggers. They continued the profession of Adam. Was he a gentleman? He is the first who ever bore of sand and air. But he had no coat of arms. What, are you a pagan then? How do you hear the Scripture? The Scripture says Adam cultivated. And how could he have cultivated without carrying sand and grain? But I will propose another question to you. If you do not answer me rightly, confess yourself. Go. Who was the one who builds more solidly than the mason, the carpenter, and the seafarer? The maker of the gallows, because his building outlives 1,000 of those who come to live there. By my faith, I like your repartee. The gallows does well there. But how does it do well? She does well for those who are hurt. And you hurt to say that a gallows is built more solidly than a church. Ergo, the stem would do well for you. Start, Will. Who is it that builds more solidly than the mason, the seaman, and the carpenter? Yes, tell me that, and then unhitch. My God, yes, now I can say. Come. By holy mass, I cannot say it. Do not break your brains any more about that, because your lazy ass won't correct, nor his appearance, for having been beaten. If you ask the question another time, answer. The gravedigger. The houses he makes last until the judgment last. Come, go to Vaughan's and bring me a pot of liquor. In my youth, when I loved, it seemed to me that it was very sweet to make a long story short. Gee up, time, concerning, woe, my conveniences. Gee up. It seemed to me that nothing suited me plus. Has that fellow no feelings of his profession? He sings while digging a grave. Habit has engendered in him a faculty carefree. That is the very thing. The hand that makes little service has the most delicate tact. But age, with furtive steps, has come to tear me apart with his claw and make me run aground in the ground, as if I had never been. This skull had a tongue in the past, and could sing. How this scoundrel rolls him on the ground! Would he do otherwise if it were the jaw of Cain which committed the first murder? Maybe it's the noggin of a politician, whom this donkey now treats from above down there. Someone who would have circumvented God himself. Isn't that quite possible? It's quite possible, my lord. Or of a courtier, who knew how to say, "Good morning, my gracious lord. How are you, my excellent lord?" It may be Monsignor so-and-so, who praised Monsignor's horse and so, when he intended to ask him to do. Isn't that possible? Yes, my lord. Is it not? It is that very thing. And now, here he is married to Milady Vernon, emaciated, and well struck in the jaw by the spade of a sacristan. They are a beautiful revolution, if only we had the right mind to look at it. Did these bones cost so little to make, that they are to be used to play skittles? The mind hurt me when I think of that. A pickaxe, a spade, and a sheet to cover themselves. Woe and a clay hole to do so. It suits such a host. And here is another. Why wouldn't it be the skull of a forensic scientist? Where is his equivocations now? His distinctions, its points of fact, its points of law, and all his tricks? Why does he suffer the scoundrel to brutalize him now? It's his head with a muddy shovel. Why doesn't he bring his action against him for beatings, abuse, and serious insults? That gentleman was perhaps in time a great buyer of land, with its mortgages, its accomplishments, its dues, its double guarantees, and its recoveries. Is it therefore the final royalty of all its fine royalties, the recovery of all its recoveries, than to have his fine noggin full of fine mud? Is that his guarantees, both double and simple? Do not Will guarantee all his purchases nothing more than a space long and wide, like 2 writing holes? Alone, the titles of transmission of his properties would hold difficult to find in this box, and must therefore the owner himself has no more. Not an inch more. Is not parchment made of the skin of a sheep? Yes, my lord, and also the skin of the calf. There are calves and sheep that seek their assurance there. I want to talk to this comrade. Tell me, man, whose pit is it? It is mine, sir. Woe and a clay hole to make it suit such a host. Truly, yes, I believe it is yours, for you make a fool of yourself, trying to put me in it. On that point, sir, it is rather you who want to put me in it, but you are not, and that proves that it is not yours. As for putting you in it, for my part, I'm not working on it point, and yet it is my grave. Yes, you are working to put me in it, since you are working on it at this pit, and since you say that it is yours. You know very well that it is made to hold the dead, and not seize the quick. That's how you want to put myself in it. That is vivid, sir, to want to put myself in it. But these vivacities can turn back from you to me. For what man are you digging it? It's not for a man, sir. For what woman, then? Not for a woman either. Well, then, who there is to be buried? Someone who was a woman, sir, but peace be to his soul, she's dead. How rigorous that rascal is. Must speak to him according to the rules, or equivocations will put us to evil. By the Lord God, Horatio, for 3 years I noticed this. Our century has become so fastidious, which the peasant, with the tip of his foot, squeezes with a sufficiently large near the heel of the courtier to skin his chiblains. How long have you been a gravedigger? Of all the days of the year I took to begin the profession, the one in which the late King Hamlet beat Fortinbras. How much of that is there? Could you not say? It is not stupid who does not know it. It was on the very day that the young Hamlet, the one who is mad, and who has been sent to England. Oh, really? And why has been sent to England? Because he was mad. He will find the spirit there, or if he does not find it, then it will only be a small pity in that country. Why? That it will not be seen in him at all. The men there are all as crazy as he is. How did he go mad? Very strangely, they say. Strangely, you bet. It is, by my faith, by losing my mind. And on what point? On a point in this territory in Denmark. I have been sacristan there for 30 years. So much as old. How long does a man remain in a land before rotting? Faith, if it's not rotten before to die, as we see in the present time, and a lot of those pox corpses can scarcely funeral, it will last you about 8 years or 9 years. A tanner will last you 9 years. Why him more than another? Ah, there you go, sir. His leather is so well tired of the fact of his profession, which he can hold against water for a long time, and it is the water that makes you a rough demolisher of all your dead bodies of sons. Here there is a skull that has remained with you already in the ground 23 years. Whose skull was it? Ah, the son of a... What a triple fool I was. Who do you think it was? Truly, I don't know. The plague be from him, that scoundrel of mad. He once poured over my head a flask of wine from the Rhine. That same skull, sir, that same skull, monsieur, was the skull of Yorick, the king's jester. That one? Yes, that thing. Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. He was a boy of infinite verse, of quite rare fantasy. He carried me on his back 1,000 times, and now how repugnant my imagination is to it. This raises my heart. They were attached to those lips that I kissed. I don't know how many times. Where is your mockery now, your frolic, your songs, your bursts of gaiety who used to make the whole audience thunder? And none of that now, nothing for you. Mock your grimace. What, gaping mouth decidedly? Go now to the room and tell her lordship that she may paint it until it is an inch thick. It is the figure to which she will have come. Do it. Laugh about it. Pray you, Horatio, tell me one thing. What is it, my lord? Do you think that Alexander made that figure underground? Yes, certainly. And that he had that smell? Ugh! Yes, certainly, my lord. To what vile employments may we return, Horatio? Why can't imagination track down the nobler dust of Alexander until you find it plugging of the barrel? That would be to consider things with that too much than to consider them as such. No, well, I don't cut out an iota. One can follow him so far quite simply, and there's a lot of likelihood of conducting the reasoning like this. Alexander died. Alexander was buried. Alexander returned to dust. The dust is the earth. The earth we make cement. And why then from this cement into which was converted could it not have been corking a barrel of beer? The august Caesar, dead and changed into clay, could plug a hole and stop the wind. Oh, to think that this dust that held the world together was intended to patch up a wall and push back the breath of winter. But slowly, gently. Let us withdraw. Here comes the king. The queen, the courtiers. Who are they following? And how mutilated these rites are. This observes the corpse to which they form a procession has, with a desperate hand, an attempt of its own life. There's a person of some mark. Let's hide for a moment and observe. What, another ceremony? It is Laertes, the very noble young man. Listen. What, another ceremony? His funeral has also been postponed far from our mission. His death lent the doubt. Without that high wall which prevails over established order, she would have been lodged in an unholy ground until the trumpet of the last judgment. Instead of charitable prayers, they would have thrown on her shards, stones, and pebbles. But he has been granted his crowns of a young girl, her strewn with virginal flowers, and the accompaniment of bells and funerals. Is nothing more to be done? No, nothing more. It would be to desecrate the office of the dead than to sing to her the requiem that must be reserved for souls who leave in peace. Place it in the ground, and may, with its beautiful and spotless flesh, 1,000 violets bloom there. I say this brutal priest, my sister, will be a protective angel when you have fallen down there screaming. What? The beautiful Ophelia. The sweetest at the sweeter. Farewell. I had hoped you'd be the woman of my Hamlet. I was thinking, sweet girl, of adorning myself with these flowers on your nuptial bed, and not to strew your tomb with it. Oh, what a triple punishment falls, 3 times 10 on that accursed head, whose wicked action has deprived you of your very delicate reason. Hold for a moment this still far away, until I seized it for a long time, last time in my arms. And now heap your dust on the living and on the dead, until you have made this plain a mountain that surpasses old Pelion, or the celestial brow of the blue Olympus. Who is the man whose grief has such a height of accent? Who complains will, like a magical conspiracy, reach the wandering stars and stop them, such as listeners struck by mortal surprise. I am that man. I, Hamlet, the Dane. Let the devil take your soul. You don't pray well. Come on, take your fingers off my throat, for although I am neither bilious nor nevertheless something within me dangerous, which your prudence must fear, spread your hand. Separate them. Hamlet, Hamlet. Gentlemen, my good lord, calm yourself. Now I will fight with him, for this until my eyelids refuse to move. O my son, for what cause? I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not, with all their sum of love, rise at the same total as me. What do you want to do for her? O Laertes, he is mad. For God's sake, leave him. More blue. Show me what you want to do. Will you cry? Do you want to fight? Do you want to starve yourself? Do you want to tear yourself to pieces? Will you drink vinegar? Will you eat a crocodile? I'll do everything. Do you come here only to groan, to brave me by throwing yourself into this tomb? Get buried alive with her? I'll do the same. And since you are chatting at mountains that millions are thrown at us acres of land until our soil goes to the burning spheres and strike and scorch his head and make him look like a Mount Ossa to a wart. On my honor, if you declaim, I will shout as well as you. This is pure madness. and its axis go and work it like it for a while, but soon you'll see him, as patiently in the dove when her twins with golden down have just hatched, brooding a languid silence. Do you hear, sir? What a reason have you to do with me? I have always loved. But no matter. Hercules himself is said to have no matter what you do. The cat will meow, and the dog will have its day. I pray you, dear Horatio, do not leave him. May your patience be strengthened on our interview last night. We will put this case by train. Dear Gertrude, order some surveillance around your son. This tomb needs a living monument. We will thus see the hour of the rest. Until then, let us be patient in our undertakings. Scene 2. A room in the castle. Enough on this subject, sir. Right, now, let's move on to the other. You remember all the circumstances? If I remember, my lord. Sir, there was a sort of which I could not sleep. I was at the time, who seemed to me to be lying more uneasy than the sailors, mutineers in their fetters, abruptly, and blessedly by this abruptness, for our thoughtlessness, let us know it well, sometimes benefits us, while our projects, the deeper ones, are aborted, and this should teach us there is a divinity who shapes our destinies, no matter how willing we are to sketch them out. That is quite certain. Suddenly then, I leave my cabin, my sailor's cloak rolled around me, and in the darkness groping, I look for them. I arrive at, grab hold of the packet, and at last retire to my room, where and there, my fears putting propriety in question, forgetfulness, I take the audacity to unseal their august commission, where I discover, Horatio, O royal villain, a formal order, larded with all sorts of reasons, at the prosperity of Denmark and of England also. Ha ha ha! And with that evocation of scarecrows, of werewolves, if I stayed alive, an order on sight, without delay allowed, no, without even the taking time to sharpen the axe, the order to cut my neck. Is it possible? Here's the commission. Read it more at leisure. But do you want to hear what I did? Yes, I beg you. Thus embraced on all sides by bandits, I hadn't had time to make a prologue, that they had already begun the play. I sit down, and I compose a new commission. I write it with my best hand. In the past I considered as our statesman that there were baseless had to be beautiful writing, and I have worked hard to lose this talent, but, sir, he gave me a good and loyal service. Do you know what the object of what I wrote was? Yes, my good lord. An urgent formal notice by the king, considering that England was his tributary faithful, and desiring that his friendship might flourish between them as a palm tree, that, desiring peace, they should continue to bear its garland of ears of corn and rise on their borders in sign of good feelings, and many sentences enough to imply that the load of an ass had only purpose, the contents of this envelope, as soon as they were seen and known, without further long or brief deliberation, he made to put to death, all of a sudden, the bearers of said dispatches, without even giving them time to recommend themselves to God. But how was this sealed? This is what heaven has also ordered. I had in my purse my father's seal, which was the copy of the great Danish seal. I folded the writing in the shape of the other, and I raised him, and I put the impression and deposited without incident. No one has ever suspected the substitution. And then the next day came our fight, and what followed you already know. Thus, Guildenstern and Rosencrantz go there? Oh man. Well, oh man, have they not lovingly accorded their embassy? I am far from your conscience. Their loss is due to their own desire to insinuate themselves. This is a dangerous thing. People of low rank then to intervene in the fencing between the swords burning with rage of two adversaries that are powerful. But what a king we have here! Now, am I not put on notice? What do you think? He who killed my king and debauched my mother, the one who slipped between the elections and the hopes, the one who threw his hook to catch with such perfidy, is not really an act of good conscience to pay him with the hand that is here. And it is not enough, damned, to let this gangrene in our life. He will soon have learned from England what outcome the affair took place there. It will be short, the interval is mine, and the man's life does not last the time to count to 2. But I am very distressed, dear Horatio, for I have gotten myself towards Laertes. In the picture of my cause I see an image of his. I will look for his good graces. It is certainly the justice of his complaint that drove me to his height of dizzying fury. Silence, who comes here? I offer your lordship my best compliments. Welcome on his return to Denmark. I thank you humbly, sir. Do you know this gnat? No, my good lord. You are all the more in a state of grace, for there's a vice in knowing him. It is a lot of soils, which are very fertile. The lord of the animals be an animal itself, and it will be sure to have his manger placed at the king's table. It's a real parrot, but as I tell you, he can go far on the mud that is his. My gracious lord, if your lordship was at leisure, I would have something to pass on to him on behalf of Her Majesty. I will welcome it with all diligence of mind, so put your hat in its place. It's made for the head. I thank your lordship, it's a bit hot. No, I believe me, it is very cold. The wind is from the north. Truly, my lord, he is doing a bit cold, and yet it seems to me he is stifling. Quite hot, perhaps my complexion. Furiously, my lord, that's right oppressive, as if I cannot to what extent, my lord, say. His Majesty has given me orders to summon you. She has placed a great wager on your head. This, sir, is what it is about. I beg, don't forget. No, my good lord, for all my convenience, I swear, sir. We have seen, since Laertes, a gallant man of all the more accomplishments. Believe me, he has 100 perfections which are marvellously out of the ordinary. It is a great trade, and cut a figure in the world. In truth, to speak of him according to the feelings which are due to him, it is the map and almanac of gallantry. For you will find in him the exact of all merits that a gallant man loves to contemplate. Sir, his portrait does not suffer from poverty, praise to be traced by you. It is not that I do not know him. If one prided oneself in doing anatomy and the whole inventory of this gentleman, if he is allowed to express himself in this way, one would not stupefy arithmetic of memory, although we only sailed behind him and sought the wind here and there. There is the cost of a rapid wake, but without lying or the push too far into the favorite rank of thought, I consider him to be a soul of the first order, and the concert of his qualities has so much strangeness unheard of, that the sake of to give the truth of the thing, he has no equal except in his mirror, or any other who would like to resemble him would only double his shadow and nothing more. Your lordship speaks of him with certainty. But what business, sir? What us lets capinate this gallant man in undue roughness of our words? Sir, it is not possible to understand each other by speaking another language. You can, sir, I am sure. To what is the quotation of this gentleman tending? Of Laertes? His purse is already empty. He spent all of his golden words. Yes, sir, of him. I know you are not ignorant. You know that, sir. I would like to, and by faith, however, if you knew, I would not prove too much in my favor. Well, sir, you are not ignorant of the great merit that Laertes watches. I dare not admit that, for fear of entering into comparison with him on his great merit, for we do not know well of a man who at one knows of himself. I am only speaking, sir, of the merit that he is for watch of his weapon. But according to the scene that is given him, he has no equal in his kind. And what is his weapon? The rapier and dagger? These are 2 of his weapons. But good morning. The king, sir, has wagered against him 6 bearded horses, and he has staked for him, that I thought I understood, 6 rapiers and daggers from France, with all their trimming, namely belts, pendants, and the rest. 3 of these crews are in honor, very precious for the taste, admirably arranged at the handles, crews of the most delicacy and most ingenious work. What do you call crews? I thought you would need some glosses at the margin before being at the end. The crews, sir, are the pendants. The word would be more like a first cousin of the if we were equipped with a cannon on the side. I would very much like the pendants, in the meantime, to remain pendants. Let us continue. 6 bearded horses against 6 French swords that are trimmings, and 3 equipages ingeniously worked. This is the French bet against the Danish, but why has this issue been raised, as you call it? The king, sir, has bet that Laertes, on the 12 passes between you and him, will not win 3 boots. Laertes bet for 9 out of 12, and the test will be made forthwith, if your lordship wants to favour me with an answer. What, even if I answer no? I mean, my lord, if you consent to play a role in the ordeal in person. Sir, I will walk here in this hall, if it pleases his majesty, as it for me at recess times lets us bring foils, then this gentleman be of good will, that the king I will win his bet, if I can. Otherwise I shall gain nothing but shame and annoyance boots. Shall I make you speak thus? In that sense, yes, sir, but with less such flourishes that your talent will dictate. I recommend my services to your lordship. All yours, all yours. It is well to recommend himself. There is no other mouth that would take charge of it. He runs away, the starling, still wearing his hair of a shell. He complimented the breast of his nurse, started to suck. This is how they are, he and the many others of the same flock, whom I see as fond of this sparkling century. They only took the tone of the day and the outward appearance of fashionable courtesy. It is like a collection of little skimmed sections here and there, which put them in vogue loud and clear, but the most evaporated and stale in judgment. It will only blow on it as a trial. Immediately these bubbles burst. My lord, his majesty, has recommended himself to you by young Osric, who brought him that you were waiting for him in his room. He sends to know whether you will always make an assault with Laertes, or if you will take more time. I am constant in my resolutions. They follow the good pleasure of the king. His proprieties have no more than to speak. Mine are ready to reply, right now or at another moment, provided I am ready as now. The king and queen all will come, and they will be welcome. The queen desires some compliment from you, amiable to Laertes, before falling into the guard. She gives me good advice. You will lose this bet, my lord. I don't think so. Since he left for France, I have continually exercised with the advantage I will win. You cannot believe how bad everything is there on the side of my heart, but no matter. Yet, my good lord, it is pure folly, but it is a sort of presentiment that would perhaps disturb a woman. If your soul feels any repugnance, obey him. I will warn them of their arrival here, and tell them that you are not well disposed. Say nothing about it. We brave the auguries. There is a special providence for the fall of a sparrow. If the hour has come, there is no longer any need to wait for it. If there is no longer any need to wait, there is nothing to be done. If there is not yet to come, it will nonetheless come one day or the other. The key is to be ready, since no one knows when he is leaving. It does not matter if it leaves sooner. Come, Hamlet, come. Let me place this hand in yours. Pardon me, sir, I have offended you, but forgive me as a gentleman to whom you are. Those who are here know, and you have necessarily heard, I was afflicted with a cruel disorder of mind. All that I have done, by what your heart, your honor, your severity, have been able to be rudely awakened, I proclaim here that it was madness. Was it Hamlet who offended Laertes? Hamlet? No, never. If Hamlet has taken from himself, he is no longer himself, and if he offends Laertes, then it is not Hamlet who makes it. Hamlet disavows her. So who does the offense? His madness? And if so, Hamlet is the offended party. Poor Hamlet's enemy is his very madness. Sir, in front of this audience, suffer may my disavowal of all evil intentions, absolve me in your generous soul, as if throwing me my wounded brother. I have full satisfaction from my heart, which the grievances in this case should push me most strongly to revenge. But on the field of honor, I am in reserve and do not want reconciliation until I have, of some arbiters of known honor, the sentence and precedents of peace, which must guard my name from every stain. But in the meantime, I receive the friendship you offer me as a true friendship, and I will not fail it. I gladly embrace this assurance, and I am going to compete loyally for this fraternal challenge. Give us the foils, Will. Come, one for me. Yes, Laertes, a foil, and I will be your breastplate, enshrined in my clumsiness, your skill, like a star in the darkest night, will come out of his fire. You are mocking me, sir. No, I swear by my right hand. Young Osric, give them the foils. Cousin Hamlet, do you know the challenge? Very well, my lord. Your grace has placed the big estates on the weaker side. I fear nothing. I saw you both at the work, but it has made progress. We have gained the advantage. This one is too heavy. Let us see another. This one suits me. Are they all long? Yes, my good lord. Put the flasks of wine on the table. If Hamlet wears the first or second boot, if he retaliates at the third, let the batteries fire. The king will drink to Hamlet, wishing him less to lose breath, and he will throw into the cup and pearl of his ring of alliance, a pearl richer than those of the crown of Denmark for 4 reigns. Give me the cups, and let the timpani say to the trumpets to the cannoneers outside, the cannons in heaven and heaven to earth, now drink the king to Hamlet. Come, begin, and you judges, keep an attentive eye. Come, sir. Come, my lord. Ah, no. Let us be the judge. A boot. A very visible boot. Let us begin again. Wait till they have had something to drink. Hamlet, this pearl is yours to your health. Give it the cup. I want to finish this pass first. Set the cup aside. Again. What do you say? Touched, I confessed. Our son will win. Is fat and short of breath. Come, Hamlet, take my handkerchief, wipe your forehead. The queen drinks to your success, Hamlet. Dear madam, Gertrude, don't drink. I will drink, my lord. Excuse me, I beg you. It is the poisoned cup. It is too late. I dare not drink yet, madam. All to the hour. Come, let me wipe your face. My lord, now I will touch him. I don't think so. And yet it is almost against my conscience. Come to the third, Laertes. You will not just play. I beg you. Push with the best of your forces. I'm afraid you will treat me like a little boy. Do you believe it? I will. Nothing on either side. Now it's your turn. Separate. They're on fire. No, start. Look at the queen. Oh, they are both bleeding. How do you think, my lord? How are you, Laertes? Well, Osric like a woodcock caught in its own trap. I perish precisely by my own betrayal. What is the queen like? She fainted when she saw them bleeding. Oh no, the cup. The cup. Oh, my dear Hamlet. The cut. I'm poisoned. Oh, villainy. Let the door be closed. Betrayal. Let us discover the betrayal. Here it is, Hamlet. Hamlet, you are dead. Point of a remedy in the world that can do you good. You are no longer in the half hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in your hand, sharpened and envenomed. The infamous artifice turned against me. Bold, here I am, lying to never get up. Your mother is poisoned, and I can't take it any more. The king is guilty. The point's poisoned too, so the venom will do your work. Treason, betrayal. Oh, defend me again, friends. I am only wounded. Look, you incestuous murderer, damnable king, finish this drink. It is there, your beautiful wedding ring. Go and join my mother. He has served according to his merits. It is a poison prepared by himself. Exchange forgiveness with I, noble Hamlet, that my death and that of my father did not fall on you, nor yours on me. May heaven absolve you. I follow you. I am death, Horatio. Miserable queen, farewell. You, whom I see you turn pale and tremble at this blow, you who are not in the midst of such a spectacle that mutes an audience. If only I had time. For he is a ferocious bailiff, that death, and strict in signifying its judgments. Oh, I would like to thank you. I would. But let's leave it at that. Horatio, I am dead, you screw. Straighten out this cause in the eyes of the discontent. Do not count on it. I have more of the old Roman than Dane. There's a little liquor left here. If you are a man, then give me the cup. Let it go, by heaven. I shall have it. O God, Horatio, what bruised name will outlive me, if things remain thus ignored? If you ever carried me in your heart, absent yourself for a while longer from supreme felicity, or remain in this cruel world breathing a sorrowful air to tell my story. What is this warlike noise? It's young Fortinbras, returned from Poland and conqueror, and sends to the English ambassadors this warlike salvo. Ah, I die, Horatio. The powerful poison completely depresses my spirits. I shall not be able to live long enough to receive the news from England. But I predict that the election will fix himself in Fortinbras. He has my dying voice. Tell him this with circumstances, great or small, which have caused the rest belongs in silence. Thus a noble heart is broken. Sleep well, dear prince, and let swarms of angels sing you to your rest. But why does the drum come here? What is this spectacle? What do you want to see? If it's misfortune or amazement, then look no further. Here is a priest who cries out no quarter. O proud death, what is the banquet that is being prepared in your eternal cave, that you may have struck so many princes with a single blow so bloody? The sight of it is horrible, and our mission arrived too late from England. It is now insensitive, the ear that was supposed to give an audience to learn from his commands, and that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern have perished. Where will the thanks that are due us come from? It would not be from his lips, if you still had the power of life to thank you. He never gave the order for their death. But since you meet just in time at this bloody aspect, you who came from the wars in Poland, and you who came from England, Give orders that these bodies be exposed to the eyes on a high platform, and let me tell to the world that does not know how things are who came from there. Then you will hear of modest actions, bloodthirsty and distorted, of judgments rendered by chance, of fortuitous murders, and accomplished deaths by deceit or force majeure. And as for the last of this act, of projects which by mistake have fallen back into the heads of their authors, that is what I can faithfully recount. Let us hasten to hear him, and summon the elite of the nobility from this assembly. For me, it is with sorrow that I accept my fortune. I have on this kingdom of rights that are remembered, and that my interest now invites me to claim. I have also been invited to speak on this point, and from a mouth whose voice will carry away others. But let us carry out this project at once, while the spirits are still agitated, lest by plots or mistakes new ones do not happen misfortunately. Which 4 of my captains carry Hamlet, like a soldier, to the platform, for he gave to believe that if he had ascended the throne, he would have shown truly that he was a king, and on his way, music military and all the honors of war will speak loudly for him. Take away these bodies. Such a show is suitable on the battlefields, but it hurts here. Come, and order the soldiers to fire. This completes the reading of Hamlet. I hope that you enjoyed it, and since it's ASMR, I hope you rested well. So sleep well, and may swarms of angels carry you to your rests.